Questions 1 through 10 on the 2011 grade 10 AMC 10B. What is the value of this expression? We've got 2 plus 4 plus 6 all over 1 plus 3 plus 5. And the other one, they just flipped it, 1 plus 3 plus 5 over 2 plus 4 plus 6. And the first one, this is 12 over 9. And the second one, it's 9 over 12. And of course, that reduces to 4 over 3 minus 3 over 4. Get a common denominator, 4 and 4, 3 and 3. And you've got 16 minus 9 over 12. And that is 7 over 12. So number 1, the answer is C. Josanna's test scores to date are 90, 80, 70, 60, and 85. Her goal is to raise her test average at least 3 points with her next test. What is the minimum test score she would need to accomplish this goal? So first, let's figure out what is her current average, and that will help us figure out what 3 more would be. So, of course, you add up the numbers and divide by 5, and when you do, you get 77. Now what you would have to do is take that and add 3. So this time you're going to take the same 5 tests as before, but you're going to add 1 additional test, call it x, and to get the average, this time you have to divide by 6 because now you have 6 tests. And we want this average to be 3 points greater than before, so we want it to be 80. And this is the equation that will allow us to figure out x. This sum right here is 385 plus x is equal to 6 times 80, which is 480. And when you subtract, you get x equal to 95. So number 2, the answer is E. At a store when a length is reported as x inches, that means the length is at least x minus 0.5 inches and at most x plus 0.5 inches. Suppose the dimensions of a rectangular tile are reported to be 2 by 3. In square inches, what is the minimum area for the rectangle? So this 2, the minimum it will be is x minus 0.5. So it will be 2 minus 0.5 in this particular store. This 3, the minimum it could be, is 3 minus 0.5. So the dimensions, minimum dimensions, are these 2 multiplied by each other. So that is 1.5 times 2.5. And when you do multiply those 2 together, you get 3.75. So number 3, the answer is A. Leroy and Bernardo went on a week-long trip together and agreed to share the costs equally. Over the week, each of them paid for various joint expenses, such as gasoline and car rental. At the end of the trip, it turned out that Leroy had paid A dollars and Bernardo had paid B dollars, where A is less than B. How many dollars must Leroy give to Bernardo so that they share the costs equally? So instead of this abstract stuff, let's just choose some numbers, right? Let's say A is 20 and B is 25 because A has to be less than B. And that means that Leroy, he spent 20 bucks and Bernardo spent 25. Now, what we are trying to do is get them to have sort of equal costs. Right now they're not equal, right? It's 20 and 25. Well, if Leroy gives, say, $2.50 to Bernardo, he now has spent a total of $22.50. And if he does that, now Bernardo, who had already spent $25, he gets $2.50. So he now has recouped that $2.50. So he now has really only sort of lost $22.50 in terms of how much he spent. And now they're equal. So in terms of A and B, we have to figure out what was, that equal to. Well, it's obviously B minus A, which is $5, and then you divide that by 2. So number 4, the answer is C. In multiplying 2 positive integers A and B, Ron reversed the digits of the 2-digit number A. His erroneous product was 161. What is the correct value of the product of A and B? So you take 2 numbers, and the first number obviously, I'm not sure what it is, but perhaps it's a 2-digit number, right? Most likely, because 161, if you have two 1-digit numbers, 9 and 9, it would be 81. So it's most likely a 2-digit number. So the 2-digit number I'll call xy, and then we multiply it by b, and you get 161. Okay. Now, 161, the good news is that it factors into only two numbers, 23 and 7. So we can do a direct comparison of this A and B. B is most likely the 7, and this A is most likely the 23. Okay? So if we reverse the numbers of A, instead of 23, it would become 32. And then if you multiply that by 7, what is the product? And 32 times 7 is 224. So number 5, the answer is E. On Halloween, Casper ate 1/3 of his candies and then gave 2 candies to his brother. The next day, he ate 1/3 of his remaining candies and then gave 4 candies to his sister. On the third day, he ate his final 8 candies. How many candies did Casper have at the beginning? So he starts with X, and then he eats 1/3, so that means he has 2/3 left. And then from that, he gives 2 away. And then of this, 2/3 minus X minus 2, he eats 1/3, so he's got 2/3 of that left, and then he gives away 4. And they're saying that this is equal to 8. So we have to figure this out. So we got 2/3 times 2/3 X minus 2, and then bring the 4 over, so that becomes 12. Now we got 2/3 X minus 2, multiply this by 3, divided by 2, so it'll be 36 divided by 2, which is 18. So 2/3 X, add 2 to both sides, you get 20. And now 20 times 3 is 60, 60 divided by 2 is 30. So X is 30. And of course, you can go back and verify that this actually works. So number 6, the answer is A. The sum of 2 angles of a triangle is 6/5 of a right angle, and one of these 2 angles is 30 degrees larger than the other. What is the degree measure of the largest angle of the triangle? So like any triangle, if you draw one, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. We've got X, Y, and Z, right? And they tell me that the sum of 2 of them, so X plus Y, is 6/5 of a right angle, and right angles are 90 degrees. So that means X plus Y is equal to 108. The other thing they tell me that one of these 2 angles is 30 degrees larger than the other, so that means X is Y plus 30. So I can use that to solve. I can substitute that in now, so I've got Y plus 30 plus Y is 108. And then 2y is equal to 78, therefore y is 39. And then x, therefore, is y plus 30, so 69. But we still haven't figured out z, because they want the largest angle in this triangle, and it could be z. Don't just look at x and y. So x plus y plus z is 180. And therefore, let's see here, we've got, well, x plus y is 108. That's right here. And then plus z is 180. So that means z is equal to 72. So x, y, and z, among those, the largest is z, which is 72 degrees. So number 7, the answer is B. At a certain beach, if it is at least 80 Fahrenheit and sunny, then the beach will be crowded. On June 10th, the beach was not crowded. What can be concluded about the weather conditions on June 10th? So there's 2 conditions, right? It has to be at least 80, so the temperature has to be greater than or equal to 80 Fahrenheit. And, very important, it has to be sunny. If those 2 are met, then the beach is crowded. Now, on June 10th, the beach is not, so that means one of these didn't happen, or both of them didn't happen. So which one of those matches? Well, if one of these does not happen, then it will not be crowded. So B matches that. The temperature was cooler than 80, or it was not sunny. Because if one of those does not happen, the beach will not be crowded. So it's not extremely tricky, but just a little bit of thought involved in this question. So 8, the answer is B. The area of EBD is 1/3 the area of a 3, 4, 5 triangle ABC. Segment DE is perpendicular to segment AB. What is BD? All right, so I think we first have to figure out the area of triangle ABC, and that should be pretty easy. It's just 1/2 base times height. The base we can call 3, the height we can use 4, and that's 6. And then EBD, that they're saying is 1/3 of that area. So it's 6 divided by 3, and that's 2. So now they want you to figure out BD, which is this distance, obviously. And this is where similar triangles will be used. Segment DE is perpendicular, right? So that means this is a right angle right here. So this is obviously a right angle. 3, 4, 5 triangles, I'm sure you know, are going to lead to a right angle. So those two triangles are similar. For example, if this is theta, this angle will be 90 minus theta. And this angle is 90 minus theta. So that means that those two triangles, ABC and EBD, are similar. So that means that ED over BD is the same as 3 over 4. So we can isolate ED as 3/4 BD. And then finally, we just go back and use that piece of information that the area of EBD is 2, and that's 1/2 base times height. The base is BD, the height is DE or ED, whichever way you want to write it. Well, that means 2 is equal to 1/2 BD, and then DE we can substitute. It's 3/4 of BD, like that. All right, so we got BD squared on this side. On this side, looks like if you cross multiply, you get 4. Then you get 16 over 3, I believe. Yeah. And then take the square root, and you get 4 over root 3. And then, as always, they always rationalize the denominator. So multiply top and bottom by root 3, and that will give you 4 root 3 over 3. And that means number 9, the answer is D. Consider the set of numbers 1, 10, 10 squared, 10 third, all the way up till 10 to the power of 10. The ratio of the largest element of the set to the sum of the other 10 elements of the set is closest to which integer? So the largest element of the set is obviously 10 to the power of 10. And then the sum of the other 10 elements would be 1 plus 10 squared plus 10 to the power of 3, dot, 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 all the way until 10 to the power of 9. Well, the top is 1 followed by 10 zeros, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the bottom one is going to be just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? That's it. That is basically the sum of the top and the bottom written out. And if you're wondering, well, I'm not allowed to use a calculator and I don't want to go through this, I don't want to do long division, that's perfectly fine. You can just use a truncated version of this. You can use 1,000 over 111 if you don't want to do that. And this is relatively straightforward, right? It behaves in the same way. 1,000 over 111 is approximately equal to 9. And therefore, the answer for this question, number 10, is B.